Camelot 331 here, and sometimes you die the hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Now, these are just words, okay? I don't really know. And I'm going to give you my opinion, but I want to talk about Linus. If you don't know who that is, it was somebody that I actually used to watch a lot, Linus, on YouTube, that would give, tech advice or information, new GPUs, motherboards, different products here and there. I used to watch it all the time back in the day. Well, it grew to massive heights, okay? Massive heights, all the way to where Linus has a net worth of nearly $100 million, which is a lot of damn money, son. I'll be honest, I wish that was me. I'm super jealous. No, but he used that to get that net worth and has a company called the Linus Media Group. And a lot of people work for this company, and a lot of people have a lot of negative things to say about this company. And it goes really, really deep, and it hits one of the pet peeves I have. And you'll see what it is here in just 2 seconds, because I hate this more than anything because I don't see any positive that can come from it. But that's neither here nor there. Look, guys, I'm shadow banned on YouTube, so please like this video, share it with your boys, and comment down below. And please follow me on Locals. It's in the link tree down below. So let's go ahead and jump right into the sauce so you can see kind of what's going on and you can judge for yourself. So this says the Linus Media Group doesn't allow discussion about wages between employees. That's technically illegal in Canada, but will anything be done about it when the practice is so common across North America? It says Linus Sebastian and Linus Media Group are under fire. It is because the Linus Media Group, or Linus Tech Tips, does not allow employees to talk about their wages. Are we surprised? And this is a big pet peeve of mine, guys, and I'll just give you a rundown of why. Because not allowing your employees to talk about wages as a result of you being afraid that they'll get poached because other people realize they're getting paid so little that they can offer more and steal them away from your company, right? Another thing is you wouldn't want some of your employees who you maybe respect a little bit less to know, that the employee working alongside them makes 20 to 30 grand more than them on salary for the same position. So they'll get pissed. Everybody's pissed, right? So it's a way to keep the bad pay or bad, let's say, abuse under wraps. Just don't talk about it. Now, is there positives for it? Sure, maybe, but I don't know what they are, all right? You feel free to comment down below so I can disagree with your ass. I'm going to be honest. It should never ever be illegal to talk about your wages. It should be encouraged. Transparency should always be encouraged, man. It says he's amassed millions of dollars through his YouTube fame and through his company, Linus Media Group. His estimate net worth at this point is around $85 million, nearly 100, boys. You don't get that amount of wealth without some sort of controversy, which is true. The fact that his company tells their employees not to discuss wages is not only sketchy, but illegal where he operates his business. It says the fact that the Canadian government hasn't done anything is pretty strange. Now, from what I understand, depending on the province, it may be legal where he is. So that might not entirely be accurate, which would be hilarious because I just think it's kind of shitty. I'm going to be honest, dude. I think it's kind of shitty, but that's neither here nor there. Well, there was an employee that took to Reddit to tell us all the spicy news. So let's look at that real quick, and then we'll move on to another kind of startling fact. But check this out. This says Linus Tech Tips isn't a great employer, has a lot of anti-labor practices, and I know because I worked there. Okay, so this is very important. It says, remember this tweet? The one where Linus showed off all the Teslas that his employees could afford? Yeah, all 3 employees out of 60 to 70. 2 of them are owned by upper management, and the other is someone who owned it before they even worked there. So take a gander at this tweet, and this is kind of they're framing this a little shitty, but I get what they're saying. So this tweet is from Linus, the Linus Media Group, and it says, I heard Linus Media Group is an abusive employer that doesn't pay well. This is from May 2022, and this apparently is the only 3 Teslas, 2 which are owned by upper management, and 1 which was owned before even working there. So it is very disingenuous. I totally get it. It's super disingenuous. It's like me, right? Having a company and then a customer parks in the parking lot with a Ferrari and says, look, I treat my employees great. It's kind of shitty. I get it. It says right here, it says, what about this one show? And it says where Linus is asked about the LMG staff unionization. And says that if LMG did, he and Yvonne would consider a personal failure and calls out brazen anti-organization policies in the United States. And then says, I don't really feel like employees need additional protections, to be perfectly honest with you. That's pretty shitty. That's funny. I'm sorry. And goes on to talk about at-will employment rules in states while falsely stating that Canada is not at will. That's funny. I'm going to be honest, pretty funny. I don't really feel like employees need more protection. I mean, look, I'm going to be honest. Look, if I was worth $100 million and I had my own company, I might feel the same way. Fuck them. That's kind of what it sounds like, but it's totally cool. It's all totally cool. We're sitting on the fence. I'm being a fence rider. Let's do this. It says the writers roughly make $55,000 to $60,000 a year while living in the city where the company is. The average cost of living is $50,000 a year. So yeah, the pay is pretty shit for the area. Now, for my dumb trailer park brain, it sounds all right. But keep in mind, I don't live in an area that has a high cost of living. I'm in Alabama. And this right here, very important. It says remote work. It says forget it. Linus hates remote work, which is really weird. It says like during COVID, you know, it was the WFH was reduced to a maximum of 2 days a week, meaning you could be at work for 3 days a week in the office. And they said this is a hard cap and it's rumored to be removed very soon. And it says, like, how could you be against this when your entire job is a designer or editor, right? So I get that aspect as well. I think remote work is great. The reason is, now granted, look, a lot of people may take advantage of it and a lot might. Or might not. But the issue is, if you're an editor, why the hell would you have to go into the office? It doesn't really make a lot of sense. So I can kind of get it there. That's kind of a first world problem issue, though, to be perfectly honest. But let's actually look at the employee handbook, because that's like the most important thing here, right? So let's look at the actual employee handbook itself, to where it states you can't discuss your wages, because that's the most important point of this video right here. So this right here says, it's an anonymous question, right? And it says, as employers, what is your opinion on employees sharing their salaries? I live in an at-will state. My boss told me that that won't be tolerated because it spreads animosity when people aren't paid the same, which is true. It's shitty, right? It's completely shitty, in my damn opinion, like to be paying people grossly more or grossly less for the same thing. Now, look. If it's different, maybe they've been there for 2 years or 3 years or 4 years, that's different. But when they were started at the same time and negotiated a different salary, kind of gets a little shady at some points. So this is what Linus replies. He says, it's frowned upon here, not allowed. And that is shitty. I'm going to be honest right here. Look, dude, I know a lot of people maybe have talked about this very recently, and they fence rode it like hard. I'm not going to do that. If you do not allow your employees to talk about what they're being paid, you're insecure about giving them job security. 100%. You do not respect these people enough to be adults, okay? Why are you afraid they're going to talk about their pay? It's because you're scared other people will get disenfranchised because they're making less. And you want to keep them under the blanket. You want to keep them in the closet and keep them with the damn chains on. It's the whole point, and you don't want them getting poached, okay, to other companies. Keep in mind, it's against policy to talk about your pay outside of work as well, which is crazy to me how you're supposed to tell somebody they can't talk about their pay to other people that don't work there. But okay, so yeah, there's a reason for this, and it's an entirely bad and selfish reason. There's not good intentions here. Sorry. If you're limiting speech in your place of business, relatively speaking within reason, it's not because it's a good thing. Limiting speech is never a good thing. Now, look, if you came into work and were protesting in the middle of the thing, saying, I want free money and lunches, and I'm going to punch you in the face. Yeah, it's different, obviously. I'm saying within reason. So let's actually look at the employee handbook, though. So this says right here, it says wages. Wages are determined on a case-by-case basis and will be determined at the sole discretion of the management, which means people are getting paid vastly different. It says all wages are structured, including any kind of bonus or commission or other, and wage adjustment information is considered highly confidential. It is not to be shared, discussed, or left in a place that can be seen by coworkers or third parties outside. Third parties include everyone, by the way. So that you can tell the reasons for this, okay? It's very, very obvious the reasons for this. Okay, so seniority right here. Seniority is defined as the length of time you start employment and continuously keep that employment. That's fine. Look, if an employee found out that the guy that's been there 10 years is making 20 grand, 30 grand more, there's a reason why. But if people are hired at the same time on a case-by-case basis and not allowed to talk because you hired somebody that was maybe your friend or your brother, that's an issue. Now, something else to be considered really quick, guys. A lot of people are like, well, if you work at Linus, why don't you go to HR about this? Well, it turns out, now look, I don't know how true this is, but I feel like it's pretty accurate. Now, I just read it. Look, okay, so I'm just going to put it out there, though, because, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but apparently the HR at Linus Media Group is Linus's wife. Apparently HR is just his wife. So going to HR about him not letting you talk about pay, probably not a good idea. He's in bed with HR. That's literally no. Apparently there might be one other HR person too, but that's pretty crazy. I'm gonna be honest, that's pretty wild. Like, it's pretty damn wild. But look at this, okay? So there's actual people talking about it right now. It says cons, no proper HR system, which is just his wife. Sexist remarks, coded language, and harassment were commonplace. Inappropriate actions, comments, and discussions frequently occurred, including discussions about employees' bodies, appearance, clothes, and wealth. Interesting. Upper and middle management frequently misuse power, which we can see with them not allowing people to talk about pay. That's an overreach, in my opinion. No way to report most incidents without issue, since the HR team is also upper management, including his wife. Starting to seem pretty real there. Feedback was consistently harsh and not constructive. Inappropriate language was commonly used while giving feedback, which is super illegal in most places, but it's fine. Meetings with unbalanced power dynamics were commonplace. Gaslighting situations frequently occurred. Unbiased third parties were never present or easily able to be requested in these meetings. Lack of proper communication between management and employees. Outside ventures frequently frowned upon. Jesus, man. Stop dismissing complaints because everyone is a friend here. It's a workplace, not a group hangout session. You know what? Let me cover something real quick, and we'll read this one. We'll read this one right here, and we'll cover it, and we'll be done here. So Linus says he would take it as a personal failure if people wanted to unionize. Why? Because he didn't do a good enough job as a leader or as a member of the family. Guys, if you're using the word family at a company to entice your people to be loyal or toe the line, that's manipulation, and it's gross, and I hate it. I'm so sick of people going like, you're part of the family, man. No, you're not at all. The reason he's against anti-union is because he doesn't want to pay anymore. That's the point. He doesn't want to pay any benefits that he doesn't feel like he should. He also said that he doesn't think employees need any more protections by a union anyway. So you can see where the alliances lie there. I mean, you don't get to $100 million net worth without believing in those kind of things. Like I said, if I was worth $100 million, I might too. I don't know. I don't have $100 million to tell you otherwise. It says right here, this is a different person. Middle management that micromanages, focus only on growth, productivity, and not people. Feels like there's no career opportunities, only short-term jobs. Apparently, turnaround has gone up drastically. Below creative and editorial industry, average pay and apparently proper raises are no longer a thing. Bonus structure sucks. Your new hires are not going to stick along with you if you can't change things up. And the people who have been here longest, I seem to be fed up with the entire thing. So kind of aligns to what we read before. So multiple people are saying the same thing. We know for a fact in the employee handbook that you're not allowed to talk about wages. We know Linus is against unionization. Now, look, you can be against it. You can be for it. I get it. Look, entire power in one or the other is not a good thing. I agree. But if you make the statement in the same breath that you don't think employees need more protections, that's showing me how you feel immediately and why you're anti-union. You know what I'm saying? So what do you guys think? Please comment down below. I think Linus should really take a look in the mirror. I know he has a lot of money and he probably thinks he's a god. Like, look, if you have that much money that you built from the ground up, you probably have a god complex. Dude, I get it. You probably think you're like the shit of the hot shits. The hot shits, baby. Like you just ate some hot wings, baby. But you're not, all right? Because when you shit, it's going to hurt. All right? It's like pepper spray coming directly out your brown eye. So, that being said, I think he needs to look in the mirror and really reconsider how he's doing things. All right. And I definitely think in the next 2 days, he should revoke the not allowed to talk about pay thing. That's gross and it's cringe and I hate it. I'm not in favor of that and I never will be. So get the hell on it, doggone it. Make sure you like this video and follow me on all this stuff. And do me a favor. Get the hell on it, doggone it. Oh my God. Bye. Yeah.